Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dropped Frames. Zeke, you're waving. Everyone's waving. Jericho's the little 5. Hey guys, I'm Jericho. How's it going? I don't know.
Okay, I'll be 5. I don't care.
No, I mean, look, you can be whatever age you want, Jericho.
Okay.
Let's start with the important questions. Jericho, what age would you be?
What age would I be if I could be any age?
Ooh.
I'd be 9, because like when you're 9, like you get away with so much shit, but you also are old enough to know that you're getting away with it, so you feel good about it. You know, it's
Okay.
not like you're getting a pass because you're 4. 9 years old. Also, about the time you discover masturbation. So like all of these.
I was gonna say, like, would you want to go for 10 or 11? But nine's a
No,
little
because
early
then
in
you
some
can get
cases.
walked in on. Maybe, you know what, you're still in the innocent stage, so you're just like, my dick feels good. I don't know why.
Okay.
But your mom's not gonna be like, why is the door locked? Like, what are you doing in there?
I love the way this show is starting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Asking the real
The
question.
second sentence out of the guest's mouth is, my dick feels good.
Real talk.
Yeah,
We ask the
Drop
important
Frames.
questions around here, Zeke. You know what I'm saying?
that's right.
You know what I'm saying? You
The
feel me, Zeke?
hard-hitting questions.
The hard-
How
yeah.
does your dick feel?
Yeah.
My dick feels good.
Dick feels good.
Exactly. I don't know where to go for this. We got Zeke. We got Co. Who's wearing a Co? Why are you wearing a Santa hat?
It's my holiday hat. Thanks. Show a little bit of tolerance, please. No, because I did my beanie is in the wash, so I need something.
Oh, you don't have multiple beanies?
I've about 15 of them.
They're all in the wash.
Yes.
beanies.
I'm dirty, man. What can I say?
You don't have like opposite laundry days, so you always have a beanie. You got to work on your stream game, man.
I
don't
got to
know what
work on my
you're
stream game, man. The professionalism has just been in the toilet lately, along with my beanies, actually,
know.
which is again why they're all in the wash.
doing. Did you only have one Fallout beanie?
I did, yeah.
Oh, that was that's like 100-hour beanie in like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you should
How
actually
you
give that
measure
away.
beanies?
I felt like that old Dilbert commercial, like, oh, these are supposed to bend.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And of course, our guest this week, who's talking about how his dick feels, is none other. Do you pronounce it with all the I's in it?
No.
I just want to give you shit about that because I think that's funny.
I'm sorry that some of us have had channels for longer than like 4 years. So like, you know, my 15-year-old branding mistake is
But are you
just-
19?
I said longer than 5 years. I'm 22.
So you've had it for 7 years?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Social Blade and check this shit out, Jericho.
Go for
You're
it,
about to
homie.
be. You might be found out.
I'm not gonna be found out because that's how old my channel is.
Let's see. I gotta spell this shit right. Jerick. Oh god, this is. Well, not even gonna
You're
try to spell
so
this.
unprofessional, man. I can't believe
Jerick.
you.
There we go. Nope. Error doesn't exist. Can you link me your Social Blade so we can check this out?
Are you really like gonna? Okay, I can do this for you. Here is
Do
my
it.
social blade.
Do it. We gotta look at your stats. That's what the show's about.
Check my stats, bro.
Check it
All right,
out.
Here's my social blade.
Okay. There we go. Oh, I forgot the user.
Created June 20th, 2009. And that's my second channel. My first. What are you guys doing opening your shit up?
Look, I had to click on that link because you can't copy and zoom.
Yeah, and my first channel was created in 2008. Had a
2009?
rad Guitar Hero shredding phase that I recorded with a handy cam. That was outstanding.
Nice.
Yeah. We
Well,
out here.
this is what we call transitions in the biz, Jericho. You started in 2009. Did you have aspirations of being what you are today back then, or were you just a dumb kid who's like, I can make the videos?
Yo, back in my day, you couldn't aspire to be anything. Like when I like there was
you're
nothing
right.
to aspire to. Like YouTube didn't have ads on it. It was back when you literally watched a video, nothing. There were no ads. You didn't need ad blocker, so you could fuck over your favorite content creators. You could just do that normally. And the largest YouTube channel that I knew of in gaming was this guy named Grizz. It's hilarious that we're talking about this. I did a video on it like a couple days ago. His name is Grizz, and he had 5,000 subs.
Shamelessly promoting himself. I can't even.
Yeah, you know, I gotta. How do you think I've survived this long? I post comments in YouTube channel descriptions. I'm like, hey, check out my channel. That's how I got famous.
There you go.
But yeah, no, it was just an outlet for expression, having fun, just doing things because people told me I wouldn't, or like you won't go and interview people about YouTube in a supermarket, and I'm like, yeah, I will. So
Wait a minute. You didn't have to blow JP?
No, it's weird. That barrier of entry
He
was a
told me
little
that
older
you
than
have
me.
to do that if you want to get big.
Let's
I mean, it makes him big in
let's move on.
his penis.
JP, you need to explain yourself then.
We need to talk about Jericho a little bit more.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
It's all good. Sometime my dick gets in the way, you know, Zeke. It happens. It happens. Look, you made it awkward. I'm just gonna even make it more awkward.
I'm so glad this shitty like opening is on my channel.
Yeah, no, that's why I played all this copyrighted music at
I
the beginning
know.
of the stream.
You fucking jerk off.
One, because that gets everyone to just wait for the YouTube release instead of watching it for free on your channel. And two, it's your channel.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
Sell out.
So there you go. Is that selling out or is that just smart content creation? I don't know.
Sell out.
Okay, it's selling out. I guess so. I guess so. You started in high school, Jericho?
Yeah.
Did you This is an odd question. Did you go to college or did you just say fuck it, I'm going to be YouTube full time?
Yo, you couldn't be like full time. Well, I guess freshman year I went to college freshman year.
Okay.
But like that you still weren't there wasn't like a full time thing. That's 4 years ago. So or 4.5 years ago. So like that was still like if you were full time, you were making like $40 a day. Like you were choosing YouTube over McDonald's. That was your full time. Not like you weren't like I'm gonna quit my day job and become YouTube. You're like fuck it, it's better than McDonald's or Chick-fil-A because I worked at Chick-fil-A.
You worked for Chick-fil-A?
I was the cow. You ever been where you dance in the cow?
Wait, they have a cow at Chick-fil-A that dances?
That's their mouse. That's their mascot.
Is that even exist anymore? I only go through the drive-thru
Yes.
because I'm a fat piece of shit. So
Yeah. At least you're honest. Like that's the first step.
yeah, no, I go through. Yeah, of course. They're just the nicest people there. Were you one of the people that worked the window at all?
No, I did the cow. I was like a bus boy. So like you had to say like my pleasure.
Yeah,
instead of thank
dude,
you and
I
shit.
love trolling them with that shit. If you say like thank you or anything like that, they have to say my pleasure,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah.
And so I'll say it like 3 times in a row. Like they hand me the drink and I'm like, thank you. And they're like, my pleasure. Then they hand me the receipt. I'm like, thanks again. They're like, my pleasure. Then they hand me the
See, I just thought they were really polite all this time.
No, I
Thank
knew
you
it
for
was company
completely
policy.
ruining my opinion of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Dude, that is like this. Seriously, if you look up a manual on how to be like the worst people ever, like I'm gonna fuck with someone who's making minimum wage in a sweaty, shitty fast food joint. That's like right there. It's like number 4 on the list.
Yeah.
It's like
Pretty
I'm
good.
gonna make these assholes do like dance for me.
It's pretty good. One of the guys
That's literally
actually,
what I did.
one of the guys actually said, like last week, he said, have a blessed day instead of my pleasure. And I was like, the fuck did you just say to me? I just drove off while staring at him. It was good. I've also noticed they only have like super attractive people at the window. Is that company policy, Jericho? Or are you breaking some
I don't
NDAs
think that's
here?
company policy. I think that's just smart managering.
Okay, you're
Managering?
probably right.
Managering? What is the correct
Managerial practice.
Imagineering.
I
I,
believe
think
it's-
it's
I believe it's-
Imagineering.
word?
I believe it's
Imagineering.
managing.
Shut the fuck up, Go.
Yeah.
Yes, best guest ever. Best guest ever.
There you
Let
go.
me have my slaughter of the English language.
Awesome.
Jesus Christ. I feel like this is a gassy Mexican show where I'm just gonna have to.
season.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to keep bringing it back into what we're talking about here. So you came out of you came out of what I like to call the Call of Duty world. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, we were all Call of Duty people.
Yeah. What? How's it feel to survive that and come out on the other side?
I still play Call. Like I like especially this year's game. It's good, but I mean, it's what you guys are gonna be going through eventually. I guess actually you're a variety streamer, so you kind of like circumvented that. You didn't like get stuck to a game. You're not.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, I
kinda
got
like,
stuck in StarCraft, so I kind of know where you're coming from.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot you had that whole other stint. So you kind of know what's up, but like it's just kind of that awkward transition where you have to realize like shit, what I'm doing either is not gonna work in the future or it's working and it's not where I want to be personally. So you have to go through this like really awkward phase where you shed some fans that are there specifically for one reason
Yeah.
or another that isn't you, and then you try and pick up fans for other games that might not mesh with the fans you currently have. Like I did it with Minecraft once. And it just gets really like you have old fans are like, who the fuck are these 12-year-olds? And then the 12-year-olds are like, I love Jericho, and why are there so many mean people on the internet? And it's just like it makes like a really weird viewership dynamic. Eventually, you kind of mix everybody, and everybody tolerates each other. But
do you get a lot of that shit where you're like, the people from the Call of Duty community coming like, I can't believe you left and betrayed us, or does that not exist for you?
That's not a thing that that's not a thing that people do.
It actually is in other communities, but
I'm
glad to hear it's not the same in the Call of Duty community. It's
just surprising.
Yeah, for a younger community, I would think that a younger demographic, I guess I should say, I would think that they would, but not at all.
No, the Call of Duty community is so old though that now they've all grown up, so they're all like, like what started as like 15, 14-year-olds, they're all like 20, 22.
Yeah.
So they're actually old, and I think they're switching to Counter-Strike now. So,
really? You think the Call of Duty world's all going to
oh yeah
CS?
Look at my channel, man. I get like so many more views for Counter-Strike, and all of it is like old people like, holy shit, Jericho still makes videos. Used to watch it back in Call of Duty 4. I'm like, fuck you guys. Been doing this for so long, but I think they're switching over.
That's interesting, especially now that like COD's going into this full-on esports thing with the whatever the fuck their world conference thing is called. Every company now has like a marketing term for their world championships, and I forget what Call of Duty's is. It's the
Call of Duty World Championship.
It's a CWL.
I don't think that's what it's called. I don't actually know what it's called.
I think it's the CWL. I don't know what. Anyways.
They're like esports league.
Yeah, they're esports league.
Oh yeah, I think that is CWL.
Yeah. I was watching that. I was watching the European CWL on like Saturday or something, and they were playing Blops 3. That was interesting. When did you decide to transition out of Call of Duty? When was that decision made for you consciously?
It wasn't like I don't think it was like there was a time where it was slowly dying off, and I realized I was having a lot of fun playing like League of Legends. I was wasting like 8 hours a day, not streaming or recording, just playing the game because I liked this so much. And at that point, I remember Gold Glove, who you guys had on last week. Good guest.
He was all right.
He was cool. It was like, what
he's
the fuck
handsome
are
at
you
least.
doing? He's such a pretty boy, but he's my pretty boy, so back off. I
think he wants a bear, brother.
All right, maybe you're right.
Me and Zeke got that covered.
No,
all
dude,
right?
he's into guys that look hairless and 12. Like that's why.
9, not 12.
9, you're right.
You like twinks then? Okay, that's cool. All right,
God.
that's fine.
But yeah, it was like 4 years ago, and I was like, okay, I need to do something different because it's not working out in the current form. Like everything was dropping off, and I wasn't having as much fun. And the whole point is you gotta enjoy yourself or the games you play yourself, or else the content you make is shit. So I had to look out for that. I was like, either I keep playing the same thing and like slowly die, or I change and hopefully succeed. But it was, it took a while. It took a couple months where you're like, this ain't working. I don't know what to do.
It's true. One of the things I've always respected and liked about you is that you're not afraid to call people out publicly if you would disagree with something.
Yeah.
And you're like embarrassed about it right now, but it's something that's very uncommon in this industry for whatever reason. I think a lot of it comes from people that are new in it and don't understand that you can actually have like an opinion, and people are all right with that.
What do you have an example? Because like
I mean, a lot of it just has to do with like big drama in the YouTube or whatever, and you'll just be like, yeah, this is my opinion. That guy's a fucking idiot, and that's my opinion. And people are like, okay, cool. Everyone else just doesn't say anything about that. And I recognize that very early on.
JP to be like, well, okay, I'm glad that you asked. I have a list. In January of 2014, you tweeted to.
I do, but we're saving that for later. I'm going to send him the Google Doc afterwards and be like, this is your good work.
Like, do you regret this? Right here, you said this. Do you regret that? Like, no.
No, never regret anything.
No.
On that nature. But do you think that comes from like, being around for so long? Do you think you build up a little bit of I guess maybe some of it is ego, although not outward facing, but you're confident that you can say that shit and be able to do what you do at the end of the day?
Yeah, it's more like a confidence knowing that like I've seen what it takes to like really hurt like it's obviously never smart to like call somebody out if what they're doing is not inherently wrong. Like I'll never call somebody out for like streaming and using like weird streaming practices to like incentivize subscriptions publicly. I will absolutely like make fun of it if it gets to a point, but like that's whatever.
Sure.
But you got to know what's okay to kind of like, say that's some shit. Like, somebody says something, and there's some drama going on, and you're just like, I think you're both idiots. Like, why are you doing this publicly or whatnot? That's fine. You gotta pick and choose your battles. You can't just call everybody out on anything that annoys you. Then you're just a whiny bitch. But it's just like everybody who's, you guys are probably really careful with some of the things you say. I know Co is, and I know, JP, you can be outward spoken until you drink, but like for them, or other way
around. Yeah.
Other way around. Yeah, you flip that. But like,
Yeah.
You guys probably think first and you're like, ooh, is this going to like negatively affect what I do? Whereas I'm like, chances are it probably won't. So I'm just going to go for it. And like,
It's a really fine line, man.
Yeah.
Between representing yourself as a professional that, you do every day, and at the same time speaking how you feel.
See, I have
it is a
trouble,
fine
like,
line.
I have trouble, like I see things all the time on like whatever, name a social media. And I really want to, like, I see it and it just fucking builds up inside of me and I just want to blast. But I think I came with age. Like, now I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm just not seeing their side of the opinion, or side of the argument. And I fucking, and I hate that about myself. Like now that I'm like in my 30s, I'm like fucking wishy-washy about everything. I'm such a fucking pushover now. I want to rail against it, but if someone brings up a good point, I'm like, I feel like my dick just like went inside of my body.
Are you getting down on yourself
should,
because you're looking through other people's perspectives and trying to understand situations?
Yes,
You're giving yourself shit for this?
I want to be more opinionated. I can't anymore.
One, I agree with what Co just said, and two, if your dick's going back inside yourself, you should see a doctor. Zeke
Deke just wants to be a rebel. He just wants to be an edgy rebel.
I do, and I can't do anymore.
You want to feel lawless? You're strapped down, dude.
It's a young man's game, son. It's a young man's game.
Jesus. When did you decide to start streaming on Twitch? And did you start on Twitch, or did you start on like live stream, or Ustream? Okay, you were a Ustreamer.
Yeah, dude. I used to, cause like you could only use like a media encoder back then to stream. So I used to, you had to use like, I guess at HawPog HD PVR was the only way to get HD footage.
Is that actually how you say that? I've never known.
HawPog? Yeah.
It's HawPog? Okay.
It was one of those words where you're just like,
yeah.
okay. And then you hear somebody say it and you're like, that's the one.
Yeah,
okay,
I've heard it said
HawPog.
like 400 different ways.
Yeah. So we'd screen cap like the display window of the HawPog and then stream in like 480p to Ustream.
Yeah.
It was miserable, but I like streaming was always a fun thing to do, but I never took it really seriously until I saw Goldie when he was living with me, just doing like 18-hour days on DayZ, like a disgusting human being for 2 or 3 months he was, but like it really paid off for him. And I was like, at that time, like we were talking about, I was like, I need to make a change and I don't know what it is. So I picked up streaming as a way to kind of fill that void that I was using League to fill. And it not only was a fun to kill time, but it was also just a fun experience in general. It wasn't an analytical experience. It was like a personable one. So that kind of change up gave me renewed motivation to keep producing content. I guess that was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Do you feel like you jumped over onto like the live streaming world a little bit too late? Would you wish you have came over earlier, or?
I mean, I felt like I was pretty established early on. It wasn't I never did daily stuff, like when Lethal Frag and even Co, like when you started your run, that's about the same time I started doing daily streams. So yeah, I was doing less frequently ones. Frequently, yes, okay. Like once or twice a week.
Adverbs, what are those?
I know, difficult. Stay in school. This is a freshman dropout.
Yeah, this is what happens when you drop out of freshman.
I'm losing IQ by the day. Help!
Hey, I did too, though. That's awesome.
Oh, and look at me! I'm
went to
sitting
a
in the
year
green
college.
room with some stuffed animals. Like,
Did you go to college, Co?
I've dropped out of 2 colleges.
Don't you listen.
my man, he always one's up. Look at it. 2 colleges.
I'm the only one here with a worthless degree. Fuck you all.
I can't believe it. What's your degree in,
I mean,
JP?
if I graduated from college, it would have been with a theater degree.
Well, I mean, I got a comm arts degree. That's just as worse. It's like
Yeah,
just
exactly.
as worthless.
Just as worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going for communication, so.
Yeah, comm arts with a track in journalism because I wanted to be like a video game reviewer. Because I used to write for GotFrag, so I was like, I'll turn this into a job. It was like, what the fuck? No one writes anymore. That was a dumb idea. Anyways, I don't know why.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I just started
horrible.
rethinking my entire life when I started thinking about that. So streaming, you jumped over, and you don't regret it at all when you jumped in.
Oh hell no. I mean, there's definitely a late point that you can do something before you're like not riding the crest of the wave and you're kind of just following up. And that was probably about a year ago when you saw a lot of people becoming full time. You know, you couldn't just make it by being there and being a good streamer. You had to do something different and be an exceptional streamer to gain, you know, that attention, which is awesome. You've got to see a lot of people coming up in the last couple of years. And yeah, I mean, I would love to have started earlier too, but I mean, my channel was created in 2010, January of 2010, so almost 2009 on for Justin TV. So it's not like I really missed out on much.
You know, I gotta go check that out.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. Why would I lie about something like that? The evidence is everywhere. Check my Twitch shirt partner thing.
No, you're good. It checks out. It checks out for sure.
Stop.
For sure.
I'll lie.
There you go. I don't know where I was going to I got so sidetracked by Social Blade that now I'm just like, I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know. Zeke, Co, any questions on Jericho and his life, his 9-year-old life?
Let's see. We've gone over sexual preferences, penis state. I think we're good right now.
Yeah, I think we hit them all.
Hit all the important stuff at least.
Yeah.
So, we asked sort of the same kind of question to Gold Glove when he was here.
I mean, they're the same person. Let's just ask the same.
No, I'm just saying, like a YouTuber and a Twitch person that has success in both.
Right.
Oh, now I remember my transition. Go ahead, Zeke.
If you had to pick one, no, I'm kidding.
I thought you had forgotten it.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
No, I'm just like. No, how do you make like? How did you make like the decision to like stop like or to separate your time? Like, how do you do that? Like, making videos takes a way longer time.
Yeah. I think that the thing that really speeds up the process is about once a week or maybe twice a week, I'll actually produce content solely for YouTube where I'll go out of my way and I'll wake up earlier and then I'll produce content in the morning where I'm making a video exclusively for YouTube that nobody's ever seen before. And I have a couple, you know, videos that I do for that. But I can't do that every day and have time to stream for 5+ hours and to have a, you know, couple hours to myself and hang out with the girlfriend. So I basically use a lot of my stream footage to rehash it and then put that on YouTube in edited and highlighted clips. So that saves me the entire capture portion. Still got to go through editing and, you know, making the video different than what you can find on Twitch. That's the whole point of bringing value to your YouTube as well. Because it can't just be like, here's the same highlight that I have on Twitch right there. Nobody's going to watch it. So that basically shortens everything by about 2 hours, hour and a half to 2 hours. So that frees up enough time. It's not as hard as people make it out to be, because it's just about keeping a schedule, but it can get crunch time where you're finishing rendering and then you upload, and as soon as it's done, you go live.
They're back, Zeke. They want their money, Zeke.
Who you got? The loan sharks?
He's been having construction for like 6 months.
It's my GIMP. I need it. I'm breaking in a new GIMP.
Ah.
And he keeps trying to break out of the goddamn box. I got it. Like, when we go to break, I'll go and correct him.
What's this one's name?
Boomer.
Boomer.
Boomer. And if you ever met him, you know why.
Yeah, no, I was about to ask if that was inspired by something, but I get what you're saying here.
No, I went downstairs today to see what was, because I was awoken at 9 a.m. And I went downstairs and they're physically pounding on my ceiling, or they're pounding on the ceiling, which is right, you know, my floor.
Yeah.
So it's vibrating my couch with every like fucking hammer hit, and I'm just like, motherfucker. And I said, when are you gonna? It's like, we'll be done with the pounding by noon today. And I was like, good, thank you, great.
Well, it's what, 12:30? So they lied to you?
Seriously, what are they doing? Are they like completely remaking the building under you? Like, it's been literal
they were
months. Like, what are they doing at this
They're turning it into a banquet space.
Yeah, okay, I remember that's what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
There's a little bit involved.
Naturally, bang. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
yeah. I don't. Yeah, Jericho. Anyway,
It is pretty ridiculous. It is pretty ridiculous. Jericho, we see a lot of people now saying like, "I'm a full-time streamer. I'm a half part-time." Where are you? Like, what are you on the spectrum?
I say I stream full time. I mean, if we're defining it by like a 40-hour work week, then no. I mean, you know, that would be you guys who just, I don't even know, like 20-hour streams. Like, okay, cool. Like I did that. I can't do that. So, I mean, I definitely stream every day for 5 hours plus. I consider that to be pretty full time in terms of the amount of time that takes. But I mean, I'm half and half. I spend as the same amount of time making videos that I do streaming usually. So I'm not just a streamer or a YouTuber. I'm kind of both.
Do you do all your
That's
own
kinda
editing?
cheating.
Out of curiosity.
Yeah. I do all my own editing.
Wow.
Do you want to offload that at all at any point, or are you comfortable doing your own editing?
I feel like there's a lot of like editing is not just like highlighting. There's comedic timing in just, you know, something.
You gotta
as
have
simple
those
as
hard cuts, man. I mean, that's all
Yeah.
YouTube.
I mean, I guess, yeah, but like there's a lot more to it than just highlighting out the moments. And while there's definitely somebody that you could teach to do that in your style, I don't have the 2 weeks to do that and then like feel comfortable because, you know, a couple mess ups and you're just like, shit, I wouldn't have messed up. Like I've been doing this all the time. So I don't know. It'd be nice for sure. I envy Brennan a lot because he.
Yeah,
you
he
know,
always talks about that. Like every other radio, I have a guy that does that for me, kind of like I do. But
well, and that's another good point. Like bring up like a sense of humor. Like you rely heavily on that. I'm sure. You're a fucking funny guy. I think.
Nothing else I bring to the table. I'm so garbage.
I said.
I mean,
heavily.
is screaming really loud just humor, Zeke? I mean, we got to define that.
I don't know what that is.
I'm talking. This is my channel. I will leave, and you will. Anyway, no, that he brings up a good point. I was actually watching a documentary about comedy last night, and he was talking about a film going to editing, and the director was like, "Oh, that's great," and then the editor like fucks up the timing so the joke doesn't land, and you can't teach that. Like you can't teach your sense of humor to somebody else. So I imagine that's fucking like it's got to be difficult to even consider having somebody else do your videos unless they're just uploading the whole like thing.
Right.
It's kind of interesting. I'd never really thought about that because you're right. With YouTube videos, especially the cuts and what you cut to and things like that, that's a large percentage of the content itself.
Yeah.
So when you give your stuff to someone else to do that, it's almost like there's a portion of what your viewers are watching that isn't your content.
It doesn't become
Unless
your
you're
content anymore.
explicitly
Yeah.
telling them what to do.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it's kind of interesting to think about.
That's a good point.
Because yeah, as a Twitch streamer, we don't even need to think about that, really.
I mean, you can tell somebody a story that you want them to write, and you can even give them like bullet points, but like how they phrase things, you know, you're going to be able to tell the person who's a professional, you know, who's a writer, and somebody who's just like, I know how to follow directions. There's a difference, you know. So
Yeah. As go
sorry.
ahead, Zeke. No,
No, I was gonna change topics. Go ahead.
I win politeness battle. You go ahead.
Motherfuck. No, I just want to know,
my
like,
pleasure.
Like like at what point, and you can even, I mean, dates or like in your mind, at what point like did you feel like I made it, I can do this, this is it?
we might wait in general.
Yeah.
I mean, it was when, you know, you always, or I say, you know, about every other sentence. So I'm gonna stop
You know, it's
that.
okay.
You know, it's all good. So it was around college, like freshman year, when I realized that there was an important decision I had to make, whether it was going to be, I can continue making one video a day and streaming once a week and enjoying the time that I have at college, or I can try and make this an actual job and really commit to it. Everybody takes, you know, there's a lot of people that take off that gap year. So it's not like I'm missing a lot of college anyways, or a huge experience. It's a normal thing. So if I take a year off and I fail horribly, sure, let's just go back and we'll start from square one. And it was the distinction between realizing I could continue at pace, or college not inhibiting me. I could try and expand what I do and how much of it I do a day. And so that was the defining point where I was like, I can live off of this if I don't go to school. So it was, I mean, it wasn't that hard of a gamble because it was already an established thing well enough that you could say I'm comfortable living off of this. But that was the biggest distinction I had to make.
What was your sub count when you decided to go full time and drop out? Do you remember?
220,000 on
Okay.
YouTube. It's more. I mean, sub count's not the.
It doesn't matter too much,
Not
but
a
yeah,
view.
it gives you a good idea.
Yeah, it was about 40,000 views a day was what I was getting.
Okay.
And that was up from 25,000 earlier in the year. So there was a steady growth. It wasn't just like, ha, this is a good month, let's go, boys. Like
Exactly.
Is there something you credit to your success, like on YouTube?
an individual. I mean, there's definitely several moments that were important. The first time that I did like a skit about Call of Duty in real life when people were only doing commentaries, and that got shared around a lot. It had like 20,000 views, which was insane back in the day. I had like 2,000 subscribers. So that doubled my sub numbers and really got a lot of fresh eyes on it. That was a huge moment for me, and that was way back. And then when I started doing Twitch as well was a big moment. And later on, I guess last year I did a series with Syndicate, Captain Sparkles, and Firefox on Minecraft, and that definitely helped quite a bit. I mean, there was not one thing that was like, without this I'd fail, but each one of those things accumulated into an important phase that I had to go through. So we're just coming off the end of the Minecraft stuff. I haven't done that in like 6 months, so we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, it's someone that has changed and evolved over because you've been in it for so long. Where do you see the next turn in your eyes?
In the whole medium?
Yeah, like what do you think is the next big thing if you were to prophesize?
I think that Twitch is like YouTube was 4 years ago, where there's still definitely live streaming games in its current state in general is where YouTube was 2 years ago, where it's still the Wild West. If somebody comes out with higher production quality than you, they will still probably beat you in terms of long-term viewership. I mean, there's a lot of basic ground that can be covered where you see people who are just using webcam and gameplay. When you see that, there's a big Sonya, I'm on a live stream. Take the transfer cable. Where you have I forgot. Right. So where you have she just fucking walked in here. Where you have like the very easy jumps in quality can be done. And then eventually you'll have to really innovate your content, so you can't just do gameplay and commentary unless you're outstanding in one of the fields. So we'll see, shows like this with higher production quality, or esports leagues, from grassroots organizations and shit. But you guys have lived in the industry long enough. 6 months is like a year and a half, and in terms of how fast things move. So saying what's in 3 years is impossible. Like, nobody knows.
Yeah, for sure. One of the other things too that I always think about when your name comes to mind was your panel at TwitchCon, the staying sane, the ups and downs of content creation.
What about it?
Is that something that you deal with on a constant basis, or is that something that at that point in time was interesting in you to talk, or for you to talk about?
You mean the topic in general?
Yeah.
Well, everybody goes through ups and downs. Like that's a fact that you're going to go through ups and downs in your content production. You might be on a steady upward trend where everything is positive, but you're going to crash at some point. It happens. It's impossible not to. There will be something that goes wrong. So everybody's dealing with it. And at the time, TwitchCon was a great celebration of streaming and how awesome the community was, and how celebrating other broadcasters who have come up from nothing to be an established icon in the industry. And that was cool, but nobody was really discussing the negatives of getting into the industry. So instead of kind of pumping everybody with this positive and really reassuring vibe, we wanted to make sure there was a contrary or a contrasting point of view where, yes, this is awesome. Here are things you need to think at realistically before you invest time and energy and possibly your job and livelihood into being a streamer. So I mean, you guys probably have definitely. You could probably pinpoint 3 or 4 points during your live stream career where you're like, shit needed. Like I felt bad. Like shit was going bad. So I mean, everybody deals with it. It was just something that nobody was talking about at TwitchCon.
Yeah.
I'm always reminded of that the Cypress Hill song. You know, you want to be a rock superstar and live large. And then there's that speaking part in the middle where he's like, "Yeah, it's a great job, but it's still a job." You know, that's what streaming is. You know, it's a great job, but it's still a job. There's gonna be like you're gonna have shitty days at work, and you're gonna shit on people that probably didn't deserve it, and you're gonna have to like own up to it and apologize.
Zeke, you'll like this. I did that really bad the other day. This guy made a comment and it was about a character in Xenoblade, not me. And so I just read it as me because I'm so self-centered, blah, blah, blah.
So it's like, I hate this piece of shit.
And so I just like destroyed this guy, then banned him from chat. And like 10 minutes passed and I get a tip from this guy. And it says like, dude, I was talking about the character in game. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I like unbanned him and refunded the thing. Then he eventually subbed. But it's like, yeah. No, I definitely get exactly what you guys are talking about. With the misplaced anger, for sure.
That's great.
For sure. That panel was with Gassy Mexican and some is that is he a big streamer? What is he?
I think he plays video games sometimes.
Okay.
He reminds me of Santa Claus.
Wow.
I mean, I was being mean, but then Zeke just took it to a.
No, he's in here. I know he's in here. He's just watching, right?
Yeah, I was just trying to personally offend him in front of thousands of people.
Yeah, that was my goal too.
Yeah. Don't worry, he does that every day.
It's my bae.
Wow, he says.
Where it's messed up. Where is that VOD exist somewhere on the internet? Do you have that up on your channel or Twitch channel? Is it only on the Franker Z thing? On the
No,
stream?
I think Brennan might have uploaded it. Gogla might have uploaded it. It would be on his channel in around TwitchCon time.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would be on the Franker Z.
Yeah,
I went back and watched it just for the chat.
That's what I was gonna say. You guys should go back and watch it if you're interested at all. For those in the chat,
we'll depress you a lot. It's just miserable for an hour talking about all the things that'll go wrong with your life when you start streaming.
Yeah. That was basically their way of saying, don't stream. There's not that much money in the space. We need all of it.
Yeah, it's fuck all you new people that are out for my job. Like, I can't have this competition.
Exactly. Well, cool. I think that's a good rundown of who you are and what you do. We should probably talk about video games at some point.
Yeah, we should talk about other things. God.
I know one thing that you and Zeke are both dying to talk about is Xenoblade Chronicles Cross, right? Just huge fans of that. Love that one.
I'm going to go get my popcorn.
No, you're gonna have to break it down as to why you like this game so much and explain why the game is worth my time.
I'll stop you right there and say it's probably not. It's actually the game is like changed dramatically for me, and I think for Ko as well. And I didn't know this about Ko until he mentioned it to me this morning on Skype. But like, that game is, talk about the ups and downs, man. It has a huge fucking roller coaster of emotions for me. But Ko, you've been kind of quiet so far in the stream. So what do you think about Xenoblade Chronicles Cross?
Okay. Xenoblade Chronicles X is about 80% awesome game mechanics, great combat system, huge open world, really cool mech system. It's about 10% good anime. There's some good music in there. I'm an anime guy myself. And it's about 10% of the most repulsive Japanese bullshit.
Is that even Japanese bullshit though?
The worst goddamn music that literally ruins the entire experience. I mean, it's like,
it's pretty bad. I can't play it because Nintendo would be like, no, fuck you. But
it's like I've never wanted to like a game so much. Like, there's so many parts about it that are just really great, and then there's like this horrible music that they put over cutscenes, and you can't turn it off or lower it, and it's louder than everything else, and it's like obnoxiously bad. It's like they made a list of like, how could we piss off our American audience? Okay, this is a good song, and this is a good one too, and this one, and let's just put them everywhere. And like, they take the coolest part of the game, which is like flying mechs, like these giant thrusters on their back, and you're flying around, and they put some crazy
those two songs are the worst. Those two songs are the worst.
Literally, I'm flying through the air like, man, this is awesome. And every 30 seconds, I'd have to land before the song got to the vocals. Because literally, I'd hear the vocals and I'd want to turn off my damn Wii and throw it out the goddamn window. So,
I started muting when I would fly around, dude. Legitimately, because there's like that one line of the song where the guy says, I need a gun. That when it hits that point, it's like time to land, time to turn off the fucking music because I can't stand it.
She says something about like, yeah, and the land is rainbows, and I'm like, shut the hell up! Like, what are you? No, you're ruining it.
They're
Wait,
bad.
does it start the same?
It starts the song over immediately when you go back in the air, and then the chorus hits like Ko said about 40 seconds into the song. There's also one song that, and I forget what triggers it. It might be the overdrive music. I forget. But it has like some weird, I think it's called, Zeke, you might have to tell me on this, but the vibrato, where it like makes the fluctuations in the singing, and it just sounds like ass. Like it sounds so bad. Yes.
How many focus groups, how many people got together and were like, you know what's a good idea? Let's find a horrible American rapper. And let's just put him everywhere we can. So it's like you're every time you get in a Skell fight, right? There's these giant mechs and it's awesome, all Gundam-esque, and you're loving what you're doing, all these different weapons and badass giant swords and stuff. And the fights never last more than 30 seconds, a minute. Like that's 90% of fights in these things. So you hear the same thing over and over. And there's just like one part at the beginning of the Skell fight song, and the guy's like, yeah, gonna get my gun.
That's exactly what I was just talking about. Yeah.
And it's just like, how many times do you have to hear that before you want to take a drill and just into your ear? I mean, it's so bad.
This might claim the
bad.
This might claim the VOD, but this is my favorite part of the game right here, Ko, and I hope you agree. I hope you guys can hear this as well. It might be a little bit loud. This is great though. It's voice acting within the game.
How much are we talking?
That's all I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But dude, for me, like I kid you not, I'm playing the game, and I got to a part that was pretty difficult, and I had to do some grinding to catch up with it, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. This kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy VII. You get to something really hard.
What chapter was this?
This was the fight with the cat dude. When you get.
Oh yes, that was the first struggle in the game. Yes.
Yeah. And I was feeling pretty good about the game then. And then I go back to town. It's like, okay, for the next story mission, you got to do these 2 missions, right? And that's normal. That's kind of how I've been in the game. So I go to do the first mission, and I'm all like, yeah, I just got off this awesome fight, and this was a lot of fun. I spent the next 20 minutes rescuing a dude's cat.
Yeah, the cat mission. 9 lives. That was a good mission. No, dude, I don't pay attention. I got to be honest. I check the fuck out when a cutscene starts in that game.
That's the whole game, JP. The whole game.
I checked the fuck out of that game.
And that's when I realized, like, that's when it first started going. Like, I started being like, you know what? I'm getting a little like. I even said it on stream. Like, we had this little talk, and I was like, I'm getting a little. This is kind of like I really like a big part of this game. I kind of wish they'd take the whole Xenogears premise and the mechanics and everything.
Yeah.
And they would just remove, get Tatsu out of there. The 13-year-old girl, just take her out completely. Like, there's so many.
Dude, Lynn's great though in combat. She's fucking stellar in combat.
Oh, she's great. Yeah, that's the thing. Like the combat, the game mechanics and stuff. Love them, dude. Like I love about 80% of the game, but it's just the veneer. It's all the stuff that they put in it specifically for fan service. It's. I've never been this conflicted about a game. Like I want to finish it. I want to play multiplayer. I want to go out and kill all the world bosses and do all that fun stuff. But I play it for 5 minutes and I'm just like, God damn it. It's not anime, because I like anime, right?
Yeah.
One and
this is not
like
a game
all
we
this
should
stuff
all
that's
play.
playing right now, love it. But yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Zeke. The first 3 hours of the game is basically one long tutorial behind a cutscene. And if you can last through that, for me, and I think what Ko also enjoyed was not only the swimsuits that you could put your characters in, but also the fact that the combat in this game is just like, I really enjoyed the combat. Like, I would spend hours just killing mobs because it was fun, and I enjoyed that aspect of it.
The combat, the open world, the enemies, the art style, and the mechs, and some of the high-end armor.
Look at that mech. Looks amazing.
Some of the armor, man, looks like right out of a sci-fi movie. It's really cool. Like, again, there's about 80% of the game I want to invest that time in. I really want to play. I feel like they need to take like all the Xenogears game mechanic and world and stuff, and put like, can you imagine what this game would have been like if the graphics and style was like of Witcher 3? Or is it like adult and dark and gritty and dealt with real problems? And like the worst part about this is in Xenogears, they try to get serious every so often and like tug at your heartstrings. And it's like, it's so comically bad when they do that because of everything else. Like some guy will be like, yeah, and then I lost my family and my wife died, and then my daughter was tortured and murdered. And then Tats will be like, what's for dinner?
Yeah.
And it's just like,
that's kind of JRPG fare, though, in my mind.
You take that away. You take out the guts of the Japanese feel of it, like the style that they bring to it. You got to take the fucking ultra violence with the fucking overly disgustingly cutesy bullshit. And
yeah, I mean, it's very tropey of JRPGs to do that for sure.
I've played a lot of JRPGs, you know, but most of them were older. And it's like, I don't know, man. If this is like the new style of JRPGs,
it kind of is.
Well,
I don't know, man.
And if you're gonna be the angry guy on the show, then I'll be you.
Oh. Okay.
I'll be the fluffing nice guy.
Wow, you look very similar to Tangent right now, actually.
He wears this hat too.
No, he wears a. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he wears a beanie or a hat, right?
He does all the time. He wears it all the time. I saw him without it once, and I was like, something's weird about you right now.
Yeah, you look very, very similar.
Zeke, when did you become such a pussy?
I know. No, hey, listen, can we...
Do you even have an opinion that's your own?
Whoa. Whoa.
Wow.
Wow.
Good vibes,
I
man.
can't keep that up. I can't
Good
keep that
vibes, please. Come on. No, I appreciate your opinion. So that's a warning, but good vibes.
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
So, Co, what chapter are you on?
I'm currently... And actually, I switched games this morning mid-cast, and I'm totally...
I was told you rage quit, or you
totally
told me you
averse
rage
to
quit.
doing that. Yeah, I mean, I got to a point, I think it's like chapter 11, where you have to like fight through a bunch of mobs and a couple mini bosses to get to an unsaid character that is...
Yes.
And I died on the second one, and when I came back, because he like AoE'd me twice, and I was dead, it was this. And I started out the outside, and I just kind of sat there for a second, and I was like, you know what? I have to go grind. Like I clearly am not ready for this, but I don't want to do that right now. Like I want to play through the main story. I don't want to just sit here killing mobs for 30 minutes. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go try Rainbow Six Siege.
That's
it was great.
So I stopped on chapter 12. It's actually...
Can you explain exactly what happened? Because I heard some stuff about it. Like,
I got real fucking pissed off last night. I was already pretty upset with the game because I was just not... I guess I hit a tipping point of where I've played this game too much, and I was frustrated with having to do the stupid task that it asks you to do towards the end. And so I walk in, and like the last... You know how the chapters are divided by the different like check marks, where it's like 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, all that type of shit? So you get to 4 out of 5 and you fight a boss. All the other ones are just giant cutscenes that I had to sit there and listen through. And then you walk like 5 steps and another giant cutscene starts. And so I've been using both controllers, a Pro controller and the Wii U pad, because you have to use the Wii U pad. And if you don't register an input on the Pro controller, after a while it just turns off. It's just, that's how that controller works. And the controller turned off and I didn't know it. And the fight starts and I reactivate the controller, no problem, usually happens. Every once in a while, it will take the key mapping of that controller, and if something is held down or up or in any position on one of the joysticks, it'll hold that as this default. And so then my controller just starts going like back, or I guess that way. It just starts holding back. And the fight starts, I'm like, all right, I mean, this is doable. I can handle it. Like, it's not that bad. And then I started fighting the boss, and it's a skull fight, of course, which I think are some of the least fun fights in the game, which is really fucked up that they fucked up a huge, amazing thing like a mech fight being bad. And I die, and then I realize that, like, I have to go grind for a long time, and I have to restart the game, which does not let you save before all those cutscenes, because when you die with a mech, you have to go back to your base, get your mech again, and then go to the fight. And so when you die in this fight, and he kills your mech, you just fight him as a normal person, and you can't actually win in like a mech fight as a normal person for the most part, because I'm a little bit under-leveled. So I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I just because I was so upset that a random like controller bug caused me to lose like 30 minutes of cutscenes time that I had to go back through and all this stupid shit. It was really infuriating.
apparently Tangent was like 3 levels from max level,
Yeah.
and got to a point in that fight where it just like one shot its entire party.
Really?
So yeah, even if it did work, you probably still
That's
would have
good.
rage quit.
Yeah. It was pretty like
Sounds like a great game, man.
the thing is we're talking about all the bad points of the game, but like there are legitimately
It's
amazing
really
things.
good. Like it's huge. I
Yeah.
mean, and there's some really good parts of it. Like I said, it's
Like
like
this
the
is
game
awesome. Look how big this creature is in the background that you could just go and fight over here to the right. It's like a level 97 creature or some shit.
Oh yeah, dude. Some of the character art and mob art, they're literally like skyscrapers compared to you, and you're supposed to fight these things down the road. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, and your mechs, like you can see in this, the mechs transform into different vehicles, like giant tanks and shit. Like there's a lot of really cool parts to the game, but
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
It's unlike other games where it's like a lot of it's really cool and the rest is like okay. All the cool parts are counterbalanced with bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's like they actually degrade the like it's
So it's not a really good game. It's just it has some cool moments. It's a mediocre.
Kinda. It's hard to. It's
You're
hard
not
to
selling
describe.
this to me,
I'm not
man.
trying to sell it to you at all by any means.
no,
Like,
yeah, no. Like the entire time I cast this, I'm like, if you're not into JRPGs,
Exactly. Yeah.
people ask me the whole time, and JP, I'm sure you got this too. Is this worth getting a Wii for? Like, is this worth a Wii U? Like, should I buy this game? And every time I was like, no, this is not worth a Wii U game.
For about the first 40 hours, I was like, this might be like my game of the year. Like, yeah, you should totally buy a Wii U. Then after last night, it's like, I don't know anymore, man. Like, I might not even finish the game because I have to basically go back and grind for another 5 to 6 hours. So it's pretty rough.
I think like if I'm gonna finish this game, it's gonna involve probably a few hours of playing it off stream just to grind. Because like, I don't really want to do that on stream. I don't just want to sit there killing shit for hours.
The funny thing too is the game, when you load up the game for the first time, it tells you to turn off your Wii U automatic shutdown because the game promotes staying in the game and letting your currency, because you go and like find this node right here, this giant beam of light. You go and find all these in the world, and the more you collect, you can actually have it just automatically accrue things over a 15-minute period as long as you're actively putting inputs into the game. And so with that in mind, the game basically tells you to not shut down the console and just let it accrue, because some of the higher level mechs are like 4 million currency, and you get like maybe 40,000 every 15 minutes of ticks.
See, this doesn't. That sounds miserable. Like
If you enjoy the JRPG grind, it's like it's really. It's
I enjoyed the
fun.
RuneScape grind. I don't like.
Yeah, it's
at least
it's
talk
different
to
type.
people.
Yeah.
It's different but similar. But yeah, it's again like there's parts of the game that are very unique, like no other games do it, like the combat system and stuff. But yeah, there's just it's a very mixed bag with this game.
Yep.
By the way, Zeke, what are you playing, man? It's good.
Bloodborne.
Nice. Awesome.
No,
Nice.
I wasn't actually playing.
That's my next game. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's hard to recommend it. A lot of people are like, I got the same question, like, should you buy a Wii U? I think if you enjoy JRPGs, probably, but also I think the Wii U now has enough titles out where it's definitely a system, and you guys feel free to jump in, but I think it's definitely a system I can recommend easily to people to buy. For its price point and the amount of games that are on it that are all good.
I think you're wrong.
Really?
I don't.
Dude,
what?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna just ask, like, what? Honestly, name the 5 games that you must buy if you got a Wii U that you would be able to play not in a group of friends.
Mario Maker, Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze.
Didn't even know that was a game.
It's one of the best platformers of last year, for sure.
Bayonetta 2.
Bayonetta 2, which comes with Bayonetta 1. You can count that as one
That
game,
one
though.
I will agree with because I've seen.
Any of the other Mario games are fantastic on the Wii U. When I say Mario games, I mean like the true, like New Super Mario Brothers U and all that shit. What are we at? 4? Trying to
Wii
think.
Orgy.
Wii Orgy. That's a
If
good
you've
one.
never tried that, try that, especially with motion controls.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's a good one. If you're into fighting games, Smash. If you're into shooting games, Splatoon.
With other people, you said you can't do with other people.
No.
It has an online proponent.
Splatoon is good with an online component. I was just saying, Wii has always been like the system that I would feel as if I'm throwing like a nice little get together. People are gonna have some drinks and turn on the Wii and then just fuck around. But like as a main gaming console for myself, I feel I don't know. You have to be really into Nintendo. I guess that is their core audience, but you have to be a Nintendo diehard.
I would agree, 100%.
To make that your main.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's. Oh man, what I was so pissed off last night, and I still can't believe it. How do they fuck up mech Like, do you enjoy the mech combat, Co? I feel it's fucking terrible.
Way too slow.
Yeah.
Like it's not only too slow, but it's just like you walk up and you every ability you have up, you just use it. Like that's it. And then when the overdrive thing pops, you use that. And then you keep doing it. Like there's absolutely no skill or anything involved. It's all about your setup.
Yeah, it's all
Like,
about the gear that you got on.
Set up properly, it is 100% boring.
Yep.
And that sucks. It sucks. Oh, and also, okay,
This
just one thing to
fucking
talk about
fight
quick.
right here. Holy shit.
You know, oh, dude, I know. That fight was ridiculous. You know those the quick prompts with the B. You got to hit the B button.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I probably got like 1 of 100 of the fastest one of those. Like it's to the point where the input lag of the Wii is faster than the little thing shrinking. Like by the time I hit B, the system registers it, it's already gone. And there were a few times when I was just sitting there waiting for it. Like, come on. Oh, this is the one. We're gonna do this. It failed. God damn it. You know, like
yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
All right, I got a question. Quick question.
Okay.
You guys are shitting on it a lot.
Yeah.
Is it a good game?
There are parts of it that are damn good. There are parts of it that no other game does, like the on-foot combat system and the way that they do equipment and the way that they like. There's lots of really good parts about the game. I was freaking in love with it for the first 30 hours.
Same here.
I was having a great time. But it's just you start seeing like a lot of really major issues with it the more you go on into it. And there's some parts of it that are just so amazingly counterintuitive. And then you meet some of these certain races and characters and it just becomes like a cartoon. And
so what you're saying is you're racist. It was an easy joke. I had to get it was I had to.
You got to JP, just try harder, please.
I know. That was too easy. That's low hanging fruit right
teach
there.
him something. Teach him.
I know, man. You got to be upfront with this. Come on.
I got to have those hard edits to be funny in Jericho's world.
Jump cuts, man.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should be holding a conversation.
Yeah.
While these guys
other way. There you go.
These fucking guys.
I know. What the fuck, man? These guys, they don't.
JP, I literally think we've said everything.
This is like a child's game.
Yeah, I think so too.
Xenoblade, though. Have we talked about Xenoblade yet?
I don't know. Have we?
Not enough.
I told you guys we were gonna talk about it a lot.
I'm fine. It looked interesting. Like I watched your stream. I was interested in the whole concept because I'm always looking for different games to maybe try out off stream. And it looked it looked interesting. There wasn't enough there when I was watching for 5 minutes to make me think I should continue watching this.
Yeah.
And I guess like you said, it is made for people who like JRPGs, not someone like me. So
yeah,
I was bummed though. It had, I saw some combat and I was like, oh shit, this looks kind of cool.
Combat's awesome. Or the ground combat's awesome for sure. But yeah, that's Xenoblade Chronicles Cross. I might finish it. Sounds like Co might finish it. He's still on the fence too, so we'll see.
I think I'm going to be moving on to Bloodborne, to be honest.
There you go. Let's talk about Bloodborne then. I was going to talk about the revolver in CS:GO and see how Jericho feels about that. But Zeke,
you want to talk about new games or do you want to go back to Bloodborne?
I mean, you've been playing a little bit more Bloodborne, right?
Yeah, I have.
Did you beat the first boss yet? That's a legitimate question. I'm not trying to make fun of you. I saw your song.
I completely understand, and I actually beat 3 bosses in a row.
So the other 2 were easy then after that, right? 'Cause that's what I was told.
Easier. I mean, like saying Bloodborne, like saying any From game has an easy boss is like saying, like, this ice is colder than other ice. You know, it's just, they're going to be difficult. Nothing's easy, but yes, much easier in comparison.
Gotcha. I heard that a lot of people were saying that for the amount you pay, the amount of content in there is not very much.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I haven't gotten there yet.
How many hours have you put in?
See the gravestone that the DLC is on, and you see the list, and like it's like I only have a few lines that can be filled by locations. So
okay.
I'm not sure. It was $20. I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I mean,
$20?
yeah.
How
for
much
for the DLC?
How much time have you put in already into the DLC? Do you know?
Just the DLC. I've only played it on cast, so I think like 15 hours.
Only. I mean, 15 hours of
No, I play it off cast. I do like the chalice stuff, which is like grindy bullshit. Off cast.
Is it just inherently, and I'm gonna try and stay on topic. Is it just inherently bad?
No, we go off topic all the time. Fuck it.
That that amount of money, paying $1 per hour of content, in my mind, is worth it. I understand that a lot of people who play games a lot don't see that way, but you know, Call of Duty and other games that do DLC, it's $20 and they're not inherently adding anything that's extra content. It's extra maps or extra items. It's not as much of like new unexplored territory as having a whole extra storyline to explore.
Yeah, and that's like the main part of it. The thing that I like personally the most is discovering new lore and like new like little, because one of the things I love about the From games is that they don't feel the need to explain themselves fully ever. There's like, you know, there's Reddit threads about like, what do you think this means, and this means this, and this means this.
Oh, there's more than there are
fully
fucking essays about like what is going on.
Yeah, and I love that shit. I love like meeting people and them saying some weird shit, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you go look it up, like, oh, that's a way to look at it. Okay. And like that, like this one, like this where I'm at right now is one of the coolest locations, because you meet these people that are like, that there's a few of them that have just weird, insane things to say, and you're like, oh my god, I want to figure out what that means, or you know, that kind of shit. And it read like they go in depth descriptions on like all the pieces of equipment and stuff, and it like gives you just a little bit tidbits of the more lore every time like you read a piece of equipment. It says, oh, this was the blank of the first hunter of the blah blah blah, and that's what keeps me going, as well as the fucking difficult gameplay.
Yeah, honestly, I'm looking at this after playing so much Xenoblade. I'm like, man, this Bloodborne's a pretty good game.
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. I can't imagine people getting upset, because only things that I've heard of it and the DLC is that it's a crazy good value, and it's a crazy good game.
Jerick, have you played any of the Souls games?
No, I don't. I can't do that, man. I'd get so mad. I can't play games that are difficult.
Here, I want to sell Jericho on a Souls game. What if I told you that you would play a Souls game, you'd fight a boss for some of the first boss, hour, 2 hours.
No.
And you'd be upset each time. You get more and more fucking pissed off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you beat it, and it's probably one of the best feelings that a game has given players in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah,
what if I told you that was the payoff?
People get mad, man. People get mad.
That's what I think that it's cool. It's definitely awesome. I just, for the types of casts that I do, it would not work for me. And while I know that I'd be incredibly rewarded just like finishing a difficult game or finishing a difficult boss fight or doing a difficult raid, all of those have a great emotional payoff, and it's probably worth it. I just can't, I can't mentally put up with that much failure, you know, off stream. I think it's the only reason why I haven't hopped into it yet.
No, dude, and I don't blame, man. There are days like when I finally got to the first boss of the DLC, I spent 5 hours trying to beat it, and I started off really well, and then it just down worse. I did worse and worse and worse and worse for 5 hours, worse and worse. And you like I can't explain it any better than like you just feel worthless if you, like at the end of it, you're just like, I am the worst gamer of all time. I want everybody to die.
But then you come back the next day, you play better, and then you beat it, and you're just like, man, what a fuck, this game is good. Like that's the Dark Souls feeling.
The really difficult bosses, you're like, fuck yeah. But then there are those ones that you think are really like way easier, and you're like, why am I not beating this? And that one is a completely different feeling when you beat it.
Yeah.
I said it yesterday when I beat like one of the other bosses. I said yesterday, it's like it took me a while, like longer than I think it should have, like skill wise for my own skill. And once it was done, finally, it was like, you know what that felt like? It didn't. I'm not elated. It was like taking a dump. It's like you're never like, yay, I gotta poop now, woo! You're like, oh, thank God it's over.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now JP, you didn't do the DLC yet, did you?
Not yet. I think I'm gonna save it for something coming up. I'm gonna torture myself in March.
Okay, I've
you're doing the Souls month, right?
I'm thinking about it.
So Zeke, quick question for you, man. If you have just New Game Plus,
yeah,
what do I do for the DLC? Like I've gotten so many different people telling
How
me
do
like,
you
oh, well,
activate
you want
it?
to make sure that you progress through the main story or be this level before you start the DLC New Game Plus. And a lot of people are going, no, you want to restart the game completely. I'm just going,
If I had to do it over again, I would restart the game completely.
really?
I would start over with a new character. Yeah.
But
Wow.
you can get to it pretty
'Cause
quick,
I
right?
beat the game and went back to use the same character, and once you do that, it changes the DLC to NG Plus, and it's really difficult.
Okay. Okay,
Also, I made a build that I wasn't like my biggest complaint with Bloodborne. My biggest complaint with Bloodborne is they give you an attribute called Arcane, and people have heard me rail on this.
Yeah,
They give you an attribute called Arcane. And at the beginning of the game, beginning of any Souls game, I always choose the magic user, whatever, like mage, wizard, whatever you want to call it. I always choose the magic user because I'm like, oh, they have an arcane fucking stat? Spell time, bitch. No spells. Arcane is like the most worthless fucking stat in the game. And I built it up hoping, because I blinded, all the way blind. And I was like, where's the spells? Come on, spells. Where are the spells? And they give you certain things that look like spells, but they use like ammo, but they're not really spells.
Yeah.
And I was just so unbelievably disappointed. I would go back, and if I had to do it over again, do the DLC, I would go back to the beginning, create a different character, build up different stats. But as it is now, I'm going with what I got.
Is that sword shooting a projectile?
It is.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler
Interesting.
alert.
Yeah.
That's a DLC weapon.
Gotcha.
And ruined.
This.
And dead.
You
It's
just
just
got
cool
comboed.
Yeah. It's fun.
That's fucking Souls, or that's FromSoft.
Well,
You walk into the wrong spot, and even little peon enemies can go whap, 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 whap,
Oh, yeah.
and just like that.
I will
love it. I
say,
love that aspect though.
I don't want to show it on stream because some people would get upset. But Zeke, and maybe Co, if you're interested in Dark Souls 3, did you guys watch the PlayStation Experience trailer for Dark Souls 3 that came out? Are you on blackout for that game? Zeke, did you watch
I
it?
am, yes.
Okay,
I'm
Co's
doing
on
a
blackout.
full DS2 run on PC and all that shit before it. So
Gotcha.
I'm like,
I saw the E3 trailer.
So there was one
if
that
you
came
wanna play
out.
It, I'll just look away. Like,
I don't want to play it because there's a lot of people on the stream that would be like, I didn't want to see that. But Zeke, there was one that came out over the weekend. And the one that came out over the weekend has a particular boss that might be like, it makes sense for them to show that off in a trailer because holy fuck. You should watch it right now and we'll just let you react on stream.
What is the?
I'll link it to you here. I'll find
I'll
it.
just look up Dark Souls 3 trailer.
Yeah. It's from the PSX trailer, I think is what it is. Because there's two. It's this one right here. I already found it. And I don't want to show it on stream. I'll link it in chat, though, for those that want to watch it as well. But man, that boss fight looks fucking insane. It's like 2 minutes into the video.
Holy shit.
Yeah, right? And then at the end...
Wait, what the
And then at the end, something else happens, and you're like, well, that's never been done before in a boss fight. Like, I feel like the fucking, and I'm blanking on his name, the director for the game. Is it Miyazaki? Is that?
What the fuck is this?
I think it's Miyazaki. I hope I'm not fucking that up.
Miyazaki wasn't he the guy that did Spirit? No.
Yes, that is totally not the right person. Why am I blanking on this? Anyways, whatever his name is, I feel like he just goes into the studio and he's like, guys, I got real fucked up last night and had a terrible nightmare. And this is what it was. We're going to put this into the game and this is how it's going to go down.
Listen, you ever
Dude,
been
okay,
to a
okay,
forest on LSD?
Yeah.
Okay, I
did.
saw the thing. Saw the trailer. I watched the boss you're talking about.
Yeah.
And this is what I gotta say about like seeing sneak previews of Souls games.
Yeah.
Do you like ice cream? It's like coming out with a new flavor of ice cream.
It
It's
is.
like, oh, I love ice cream, and that new flavor, and yes, it's fucking awesome. But like, you kind of come to expect that.
Yeah.
Like I mean, don't get me wrong. There was it's an amazing looking like art style like thing, but like I was amazed when I saw the gaping dragon for the first time. I was like,
Yeah,
holy fuck, that's awesome! Oh my god!
it's true.
But after you see so many different amazingly put together and constructed and drawn and motion whatever bosses or areas or whatever, you're just like, that's fucking awesome, and you just kind of like shake your head, yeah, good. The only way it would be any different is if they totally fucked up and it was just horrible.
Right.
Zeke is officially jaded.
I'm not jaded. It's just like you come to it's like you expect excellence. Like if you went to stay at like the fucking Ritz and it was like a shithole fucking room, you'd be like, what the fuck?
You'd
But
be
you walk in
upset,
the Ritz, you expect like a nice king size bed and da.
So Dark Souls 3 is like, okay, this is pretty good. And then Dark Souls 4 for Zeke is going to be like, acceptable.
Exactly.
No, it's like my opinion of Fallout 4. It's like it's a fucking awesome game, but compared to Fallout 3, it's
more Fallout.
It's more Fallout.
yeah, exactly.
It's true.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good
Times.
point.
That trailer
I
is
think
definitely
that game
awesome.
would
though.
have been destroyed if it wasn't from Bethesda and part of the Fallout series. The amount of things that are just like inexcusably bad is
Yeah.
just miserable. But it's a great game and I'm enjoying it.
We've
for
definitely
first
talked
Fallout.
about it before the show.
We had a really good discussion with Elo on the show about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's parts of Fallout that, especially by the third iteration on the same engine, are just like inexcusable. Like,
Yep.
what is going on here? But then there's other parts of the game that are pretty damn cool. So it's
Yeah,
like,
true.
you know,
Let's talk about CS:GO a little bit before we go to a break. There was a big patch yesterday. One of the biggest things to come out of that patch is this fucking revolver, which I'm trying to find a specific point.
I saw Jimmy last night on Twitter about that one.
Man, people. Oh, you
This
switched the
isn't the
blocks.
right video, homie.
Is this not from yesterday?
No, yesterday's is. I actually have a
Oh,
highlight.
that's a highlight. Whoops.
Yeah.
I'll
alright.
find it real quick. But yeah,
dude,
talk to
this
me about that.
revolver.
Did people like? People are
Alright.
really upset about this in the community.
So since I'm not I'm not a super competitive player, this revolver was the most fun couple hours I've been able to have in Counter-Strike in a while because everybody realized how stupid it was.
Right.
I don't know if I can put it into perspective of another game because it's that broken. It's like you have an entire game based around a certain meta where all guns are relatively
There's a hierarchy. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a high, but every gun to an extent is relatively useful, aside from a few. You can pretty much, build a player style around any of these weapons. And then they were like, let's take the best of every single category of weapon and just throw it into a weapon and then make that shit so cheap that you will buy it over everything. And this is the revolver, a game-breakingly hilarious shooter. It's just like, it's inexcusable. How does it get through QA? I don't know. But it is so damn fun because it's the only weapon everybody's using.
So for us that haven't used it or play it, like, why is it so amazing?
Here, let me.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead and talk about it. I'll pull up this GIF though.
The
Sure.
only thing I've heard so far is Jimmy saying that a chest shot with body armor is an instant kill.
All right, watch this, Co.
Yeah, watch this. Oh yeah, this is a great one. But that doesn't even. I don't think that exemplifies anything.
No,
All
but
right.
it's just like this is how powerful it shoots with one shot through three people with a headshot, right? Or is it two shots?
No, it's two collaterals. So
Okay.
that while that clip is insane, it's really not like a Desert Eagle could do that. And the crazy
find
part,
someone.
the reason it's insane, is because it has the same base damage as one of the most coveted weapons in the game, the AWP. Teams have players dedicated to this position where they have this sniper that is incredible for map control. It's a one-shot kill from the chest up. If that gun is insane. But this one right here, it's a tenth of the cost almost. But it has the same damage. It has the same armor penetration. It is very accurate, and it's good close range. Like, it takes everything that some of the most expensive guns in the game are balanced off of, and then it's like, nah, man, let's just put it in a pistol. That's why it's just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Is it a permanent addition?
They can't take the weapon out. They have a whole case about it. I mean, case with it and ammo. Look at this. This is Freakazoid's ace. Like, these are pro players just running through
Yeah.
and just Counter-Strike is more a chess match than a shooter. It's an analytical, calculated shooter where it's about accuracy and the first shot, your ability to, out mentally play your team or the enemy team. And then they were just like, let's throw some Call of Duty in this bitch and just allow people to run and gun and without damage.
From what I've read and from what I've seen, it is out-opping ops and out-AKing AKs and like 1v1 fights.
Yeah, the AK is worthless because compared to it, because it's not a one-hit chest shot. With this, at any range that you're going to be, spraying with an AK, the guy only has to be sort of accurate. Where you got to hit him in the head.
Yeah.
I think this is a pretty decent game where basically all we're doing is I'm not doing anything special, and I was getting 30 kills a game using this pistol. You shouldn't be able to do that. Like, this guy's across the damn map. And and I kill him. It's not even an issue. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that with a weapon that's not the op with consistency. And then you shouldn't be able to do that for the price that is game breaking. And I'm not even a professional player, so I'm not the best to be talking about this, but it's just absurd. Like, what is that?
Yeah, that was a headshot too. The funny thing is everyone's using it. Yeah, that's a great comment to say as well. Like, for those tuning in, we are not your expert analyst to actually be breaking this game down. So if you're looking for that, we're not going to do that. I just thought it was hilarious that this was added in. And one of the other things that a lot of people started talking about when this hit yesterday was the idea that there's not like a test realm or a test server for CSGO. This is literally like, here's this new weapon and it's on live servers. Use it.
And they did no QA testing with any professionals or
it just went live.
Anything.
And
sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
One addition to that is that they did this update the day before a $250,000 major tournament.
And it's usable in the tournament, right? Yeah.
No, I think they're going to be playing on the last patch. But the fact that was even a possibility, that they could have been introducing something that's game breaking and then been like, sort it out. Like, that's not how you run a game.
They've
game.
In the StarCraft world, there was multiple times where a patch would hit before a big tournament, like 2 or 3 days, that would change the game dramatically. And the winner of that tournament was literally because of the patch that was implemented. I think there was one where it was a roach change, like early on in the StarCraft 2 world, that had to do with its supply costs being upgraded or maybe downgraded or something. I forgot exactly what it was because it was so long ago. But I would think, like, as a developer who is so ingrained in the world of esports and so in tune with the world of esports, that Valve would like put some of that into consideration. And then yesterday happened, and I'm just like, what the, like, how the fuck?
The only thing saltier than the Overwatch subreddit after an invite wave is the Counter-Strike subreddit right now. It's absurd.
Oh yeah, no, I was just there. Let's see, the top 11 posts are about this gun. Even Notch is like creating or tweeting about how it's fucking dog shit and like all this funny shit.
I mean, when you have the ability, when you're a casual player who bases their entire stream and gameplay around having fun, and this gets introduced, like, I was dying. It was so much fun because everybody realized how ridiculous it was. So nobody tried, and my entire teammates were just like, "You guys want to do 360s?" Like, I'm feeling lucky today. They stopped playing Counter-Strike for the reason that most people play Counter-Strike, which I get is obnoxious, but it's only going to last 1 or 2 days. So I'm kind of soaking it in and enjoying, like, everybody's not being serious because they know how fucked everything is right now.
How would they not know this?
That's a good question.
Oh.
No, I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
This game is so popular and so, like, just so big that it's got to be a fucking joke. It's got to be a joke to those guys. They're like, watch this shit. We're going to put a fucking revolver in here that just kills everybody. Check the Reddit right now. Go. Do it. Just keep your eyes on it. Keep your fucking eyes on it. It's going to get good.
I mean, a lot of people were saying that the reason that they did this was because they changed some core mechanics of using the 2 popular rifles as well as some pistol mechanics, which they wanted to... it's kind of that there's got to be a name for it. I'm sure like Ko or JP probably knows it, where you purposefully fuck something else up to hide changing something that's deliberate, and then you just fix the other thing that you really fucked up. So everybody's like, well, I'm happy.
I think it's just
the official term for that, I believe, is shitty developing.
Well, it's a way of developing for sure. It's a way of balancing for sure, is to just make these huge changes, like huge broad scope changes, and then going back and changing it.
No,
It's called a bait and switch.
a bait and switch. So
There you
no,
go.
that's right. That's what it is. It's not like they're changing a lot of things and reverting these changes. They made a fucking stupid change, and then they made critical smaller changes to how the play style in the game revolves around, whether you're gonna spray your weapon or tap it, which is, been a staple in the way the game plays for years. And they
Right.
added more RNG to it in a game that's basically it's
Oh, I
skill-
didn't know that. Why
Yeah,
you just
so-
jumping shot? That's great.
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
It's jumping shots are almost perfect with this gun. It's like, what the fuck?
That's
So it's not.
ridiculous.
So a lot of people were saying they fucked up the R8 to make people not get bitchy about the rifle changes.
This
and then-
the R8's Magnum or the
Yeah,
revolver or
Magnum,
whatever. Okay.
the revolver. And then so basically everybody gets pissed about the Magnum, forgets about the smaller changes that are probably more valuable than this. They nerf this gun into the ground, and now we have permanent lasting changes that people would have been pissed about, but now are just like, well, I guess we'll settle.
You know what
Going
it
on
is?
that note,
It's an
it's like,
interesting
so
thought.
did you guys hear after they released the revolver, did anyone else catch the Half-Life 3 announcement?
Yeah, right?
Buried the lead.
Yeah.
No. I think you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of 007 GoldenEye, the Golden Gun matches.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
It's like the
That's-
revolver is
yeah.
the Golden Gun.
Yeah, it's definitely so. You guys don't play Counter-Strike. Has there ever been a colossal, like a colossal fuck up in one of your favorite games where it's not even this is broken, but it is so broken that everybody uses it, whether
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a single player game with an exploit. I'm not talking the Fallout ammo bug. I'm talking you spawn with a fat man at the start with unlimited ammo.
Dude,
There's
That's
countless
the way
ones
to
in
play.
StarCraft 2 for sure.
MMOs have
Oh, yeah,
been
MMOs.
ruined over what you're talking about.
Yeah,
like
for
where
sure.
a patch comes in and then something is the new thing to do, and then everyone does it, and the next day the economy that has been set up for the last year and a half is gone.
Yeah.
It's just gone. Like, yeah, that it's horrible shit. I'm really surprised though, like, as a non-CS player, a very casual CS player, I'm really surprised that they haven't like immediately nerfed it or immediately changed it. Like, they're really showing everyone right now that it's kind of like, hey, we know it's messed up, but it's the holidays.
Well, it hasn't been 24 hours yet, so let's give it the
But
benefit
even
of the
then,
doubt.
man, I mean, like, look, I'm not a CS, like Tucker said, I'm not a CS pro by any means, but just watching what we're seeing here, this is ridiculous.
No, it looks like you're playing Overwatch. It literally looks like you're running around as
I'm
McCree right now.
Look at that! What the
And
fuck
just
is
like
that?
doming people like it's fucking over. It does not look like CS. There's
It's right.
there's no strategy in your movement. There's no like you're just walking and saying, I'm gonna shoot that guy now.
Yeah,
This pistol's only been in the game for a day.
Less
Not
than
even a
24
day.
hours. It got patched last night.
Wow. Okay. Wow. As
Yeah.
much as I've heard about it, I thought it would have been a lot longer than that.
That's like people were likening it to a League of Legends champion being broken, but even that doesn't get the scope because only one person, 2 people per game, 1 person per team can do that.
Yeah.
It's like it's like an item being added into the game that allows everybody to one-shot people on like a 60-second cooldown. It's just it fundamentally changed the entire game in one patch, and it was so easy. It wasn't even one where people had to try to figure it out. It was one game with it, and everybody was only using it. That's all
Yeah.
it took before people were like, the whole rest of the guns are worthless. So sell those revolver skins before they get nerfed, team.
Yeah, how much what do the new cases cost? I guess their
I
marketplace cost, but
Yeah, I bought 2 at 25. The within 10 minutes of them coming out, colossal waste of money.
Yeah,
They're down to like 8 euros, so like 12 bucks.
what's like the hot skin from the
The
pack?
hot skin's the fade on it. It's like a red to gold fade on the revolver.
Okay.
One of those factory news going for about 400 bucks. So
What was there any new knives?
no, there not to my knowledge. I don't think there are any.
Okay,
knives.
gotcha.
They just had the butt plugs. So I mean, I think they're gonna wait on the.
Oh, I never saw those.
They are butt plugs.
They're called Shadow what?
Shadow daggers. They're
Shadow
2 little
daggers.
shadow daggers, but their icon
Let's
it's a butt plug. So
Wait, it's a dual wield knife. Okay.
Yeah, and you just kind of like stab people by punching them. It's kind of cool.
You just
Plug
chase
their
them around
butts.
with it because it feels awkward. They're like,
That's
oh,
interesting.
butt plug,
Yeah,
oh."
they're like, whoa.
Like,
Reminds
oh, don't
me of
touch me with
college.
that.
They just die from awkwardness. They don't even get. Whoa, 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 whoa! I'll just
They
lay down.
cringe to death.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else going on in the CS:GO world that you're super hyped about? You said this is like your main game, so
Yeah, I'm really excited. TBS is picking up CS:GO for
Yeah.
a professional league, $2.2 million.
that
$2.4
finally got
million.
announced, right?
Yeah,
'cause yeah.
really big step, I think, in terms of bringing. I think it's not a. I think it's a. I think it matters jack shit to every normal person. I think it's a big step in getting CS:GO into the public eye, as well as getting CS:GO into the public sponsor's eye, i.e., we're not just working with Monster and and BenQ and Razer now. We're dealing
Right.
with the Coca-Colas or the Fortune 500s. But TBS, Counter-Strike doesn't need a better place to watch Counter-Strike. That they have it in Twitch and YouTube and hip-hop, everybody. But TV needs younger viewers. So it's like everybody's doing them a favor. I think it'll be cool to watch it. I'll definitely watch it on Friday nights because that's the only place you can watch it, I believe. But like, it's not. It inherently brings nothing to the scene except for what I think is sponsorship exposure. So the average person's like, sweet TV. A week from now, they're going to be like, I wish I could watch this on Twitch.
So
in my computer.
Yeah, it's called e-league.com if you guys want to learn more information about it. Obviously, I still follow a bunch of people from the esports world, Sir Scoots and all them, and all the other CS:GO people. I've been watching a lot of tweets back and forth, and I don't think this is the proper platform to jump into a discussion about it. That said, I think it's interesting that they don't have the quote-unquote best teams in there. And it's kind of like...
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like the teams that are in there are teams that are sponsored by the sponsors of this league. And it's
Yes.
interesting to see that going into something that is so huge and almost monumental, especially when you think back to like this the CGS days and how fucked up that was for that community and how much it set it back. So... We'll see. I'm very interested to see how this goes down. There's also
I don't think it can be bad.
I don't think it can be bad at all. It's just there's going to be a lot of people that get kind of fucked by this on a global scale.
You're right.
So
I just hope it brings more like attention to like live gaming.
I think it totally will, dude. I think that's a
I
huge
think
point.
There's nothing but good stuff that will come out of it, but I'd love to see a show like after like if this really takes off and does well. I'd love to see like an hour show where it's like I don't know, like even if they model it after like Conan's Clueless Gamer or whatever, they have like a show where it's all edited and stuff, but a dude that sucks at games is playing it and sucking and being funny.
Right. Yeah, and that's the other thing too for people that don't give any fucks about CS:GO, but they care about Twitch and the idea of Twitch growing. Like, from what I understand, this is only being broadcast on Fridays, but they're intertwining Twitch streams throughout the week with that. So there's parallel content running on Twitch as well, which means that's going to obviously probably be advertised on this show, I would think. And that just means there's more people coming to Twitch that could possibly be a spinoff onto other channels.
Look, it's not going to grow Twitch. Like, I don't care what you.
You don't think new viewers are going to come?
Yeah, they will come, but not in any meaningful number. I mean, yes, it will be good, but the types of viewers that are going to be exposed for the first time to Twitch and to Counter-Strike, we're talking, you got to be a really secluded younger kid to not have ever heard of these two.
That's true.
Platforms and games, or you're not the demographic, so you're not going to probably tap into it. I mean, my dad watches my stream sometimes, but watching it is a very loose term. Like, he has it on the background to know that I'm not wasting my life away. And he's not going to start watching JP because he's like, fuck, this JP guy is so funny. Like, I need to watch him.
I mean, that wouldn't happen anyway. So.
No, he wouldn't do that because JP is not.
Because JP's not funny.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, he's not. He's not
laugh at him funny.
Yeah.
I would say
for sure.
So I don't think it's going to bring any meaningful number. And we're talking maybe 100,000 people. It's NA only. It's only US actually. It's US only on TBS. Like, that's the only place you can get TBS, I think. So
I think so, yeah.
We're talking, let's say 80,000, 100,000 concurrent watching on TV, and how many of those, if we're saying 20,000, that's a huge number, are completely new. So 20,000 new people to Twitch, that's a drop in the bucket.
That's true. That's
when we're
totally a
talking
valid
about,
point.
like 8 million, So I mean, it's cool. I just don't think it's gonna help Twitch in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, maybe that's the hope instead of what's
You're
actually
so
going to happen.
pessimistic, man.
I'm sorry. I'm just jaded.
Look on the
I don't think
bright
that's
side.
pessimistic. I don't think that's pessimistic at all. I think
it's
that's
realistic.
It's realistic
Goodbye,
for
man.
sure.
Come
Yeah.
on. Come on, let's be optimistic. Let's put our positive hats
God,
on.
you
Grandma's
put,
never
That guy knows
seen-
what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I immediately trust this guy.
you put that
Grandpa's
on, and I'm
gonna
just
be
like,
fucking-
Tangent, what are you doing in this show? You look so similar to him for some reason. Maybe it's the beard. Maybe it's literally just the beard and the hoodie, and that's it.
His beard is red.
I
doesn't look that way.
Look, to me, I honestly
I'm waiting
have
for
not,
JP to go, oh, well, I've actually never watched him. So.
No, that's the next comment is I've watched maybe 10 minutes of Tangent and talked with him in person more than I've watched him. But still, it looks like Tangent, 100%.
A little more Seth Rogen-y and we'd be there.
Yeah,
Can we go to break now?
we might. We might. It could happen. It could happen. Preview us, Zeke? What are we going to talk about on Indie Sunday coverage when we come back?
Her story.
Oh God.
All right, we're gonna get.
I played that, and I had a friend over, and we played more. Keep talking, nobody explodes. And I don't know if it's still you're able to see it still. Yeah, you can still see it a little bit. My nose.
Did you get hit?
Yes,
All
I
right,
did.
we'll learn more about that when we come back. Oh, okay. We'll watch that VOD when we come back from the break. Talk about the PlayStation experience as well as what Jericho and Co have been streaming as well, because we're not done yet. We got more drop frames coming up right after this. We'll see you guys after this quick break. Don't go anywhere.